Tristan has a question. He says, currently leaving the workplace to stay at home with the new baby. What happens to my 401k? Is there an additional step I need to take if I'm not going to return to work? I thought that was an interesting question. So, all right, you're leaving your job. What happens to the 401k now? What should you do? What should you do? What should you think about?
Is that deliverable?
Do we have
out there?
the thing? Is the thing ready?
Oh, look.
It is,
It's
yes.
up. Oh, it's up.
Moneyguy.com/resources.
Oh,
So
it's almost like that's
we asked
good
that.
foresight.
So you didn't even mean to ask this question on purpose. So we have
No, honestly, this was not strategic.
We have a brand
thought it was a good
new
question.
deliverable that if you've not seen it, you can go out to moneyguy.com/resources and download it. It's so new, I don't even know the name of it, but it's basically walks you
like
through.
what to do with an old 401k.
Walks you through what to do with old retirement accounts because that's the exact
Yeah.
question that Tristan is facing. What do I?
Oh,
look
got
at
an
this.
old 401k.
Here's
Here's what to do with it.
Got
Look
an
at
old
this.
401k. How do I know what I can do? You can go download this deliverable, Tristan. It'll be very, very helpful for you. But essentially, when it comes to 401ks, there are 4 things that you can do, but I'm going to put one down because one of them is not an option. That one that's not an option is cash it out. You've heard us say this before. Don't do that. Even though they tell you, hey, do you want to distribute this money? Hey, do you want to have mandatory withholding done? You don't want to do that. So then the question becomes, okay, well, what do I do? And there are 3 permissible and allowable things that you can do with a 401k. Brian, you want to walk them through those 3 things that they can do once they leave?
Well, you can actually just stay right where you
Leave
are.
it right where it
if
is.
you like your 401k, you like the provider, especially if you work for a big national public company and they're working with one of the big providers out there, it's probably a pretty jam-up plan.
Yep.
So you can leave it right where it is. There's also the option that you could, if you wanted to, you could roll it into your brand new plan. Maybe you went from a plan that was set up by the owner of the company's college roommate or golf buddy, and it's not that good. And you're like, man, I've never liked my 401k, but I like the free money that they're putting in. But I've gone to this new company, and man, they seem to have their act together on 401k designs. So why not roll the old plan, do a trustee-to-trustee transfer into the brand new plan? And then the last option that Bo's alluding to, that's why I want you to look at those first 2 as options, is because they allow you to keep the backdoor Roth contributions available. But if it doesn't work out, you don't like the plan, you don't like your new plan, you can always roll it into a rollover IRA. That way you don't have to be stuck with the choices that your old plan provider had made. You now get to choose the investments, you get to choose what fees you're paying inside of the plan. It's a lot more control, but it does blow up that opportunity to do a backdoor or a Roth conversion strategy if you make too much money to do Roth contributions directly.
So if you've not checked it out, make sure you go to moneyguy.com/resources. Check out that brand new deliverable and let us know what you guys think. Is this valuable? Is this helpful? And congratulations on being able to go stay home with a new baby. That's an amazing thing. So that's an awesome transition that you're making, and I think it's wonderful that even as you're making this transition, you're thinking through the other financial implications of that decision.
And I think this is on the deliverable, but it's worth saying out loud for all those that just don't make it to the resource page, is that the threshold, and Bo, you can correct me, it used to be $5,000. If your plan is less...
It's plan specific, so it depends on how it's written in the plan
make sure
documents.
you understand what the threshold of assets has to be for you to allow to stay in the plan. There are, in the past, there's been provisions, usually less than $5,000, that they'll just kick your assets out. Essentially, you'll get a check in the mail. They'll what?
Y'all all heard it, right? It wasn't just me.
They'll do the withholding on it, and you'll just get a check in the mail, and then you'll get a nasty surprise when you get that 1099-R at the year end and you file your taxes. This is why I guess I'm made for content creation.
It was awesome.
Is that my brain just throws stuff out, and somehow it's quirky enough that you guys get entertained by it.
It was so good.
What did I say?
You said it, and it'll just kick your assets out. And we were like, oh no. He was literally saying, it'll force your assets out. It was great.
We thought you were maybe going to say something
look,
else.
you can some people, I remember in Little League Baseball, now this was short-lived, because I grew up left-handed.
Well, I would have played your advantage later on.
I got picked up in 9-10 baseball as a pitcher because when I was a pitcher in 9-10 league ball, my ball naturally had a curve to it.
Yeah. Spins the other way.
All because I was left-handed. It's not like I was trying to throw a curve ball. It's just the way as a southpaw I was throwing the ball. I feel like that's the way the English language works for me. Is that I'm trying to navigate this thing. I'm just throwing out the words that my brain gives me, and somehow it comes out in unique ways that people are entertained.
You were the left-handed pitcher of the English language. I love it.
Didn't even try to be. I'm a poet and didn't know it.
Oh.
Or a comedian and didn't know it. That doesn't rhyme, though.